24 hours away from a grand final. How do you feel?
Oh, looking forward to it, mate. It's we've just been and done the parade, and it's all the sort of extraneous sort of variables are out of the way, and now we can focus on actually playing.
Now, you played in a premiership with Port Adelaide in the SANFL. How was that? I mean, that was 10 years ago as a 20-year-old. What were your memories of the lead up to that game?
Not much about the lead-up, actually, but the game itself was a real buzz. I can't remember much of it. I've got to watch the video to remind myself, but the feeling after is, I mean, you can't forget that, and you know that that's why you play footy. So has it been different this time to what you remember back in '92 in terms of the leader? Yeah, well, it's obviously SANFL, AFL. There's a little bit of a difference there, and we probably had like 150,000 people out there today, and I think, I mean, this is the pinnacle of a footballer's career, the opportunity to win a premiership. And we have a very young list that have the opportunity to do that, and I, as we all are very excited about doing the job tomorrow. Has anything surprised you in the lead-up that you thought that really knocked you back and think, wow, like, for example, the crowd today? I mean, has anything really surprised you? Yeah, I think we were pretty well prepared. I think all of us have been young football followers at some stage and know exactly sort of seen what grand final week's like from the outside, and we've seen parades before, and so most of the young fellas have probably been little tackers at the front waving flags at their old heroes. Perhaps you, mate. But I think we sort of knew what we were up for, and the boys have been fairly calm and collected and taking it in their stride, enjoying the periphery stuff and just ready to go. Now, Jason Cloak, obviously a tough week for him. What's been the impact on the team? I mean, have you found some positives from what's happened to him this week? Well, there really are no positives for Cloakey. It's a very unfortunate circumstance. I suppose the only positives for the rest of the group is to know that he's been an integral part of us getting to where we are, and that opportunity's been taken away from him, and I suppose it makes you appreciate it all the more. Now, Mick Malthouse during the week, the big challenge during grand final week is trying to keep a lid on the emotions. What has he done to try and, particularly with the younger players who haven't had a lot of finals experience, what has he done to try and keep those emotions in check? I think basically all he's done is advise and talk to guys, and I suppose you do that in advance, and then you have to let the individual sort of handle it as they handle it. I think we've got a fairly level-headed group, and Mick, along with Dean Laidley and the rest of the assistant coaches, have been very calm and collected. We've gone about our processes exactly the same as we always would, week in, week out, and I think that keeps the players calm as well. Has there been a theme for the week in terms of preparing for this game? Has there been one thing that you've grabbed hold of to try and, you know, spur you on to try and get over the Brisbane Lions? No, not really. We've really focused on the same areas that we've focused on every week during the year, and we pride ourselves on the physicality, and we obviously think that the start is going to be fairly hot, as it always is. So there's nothing out of the ordinary, but we've probably spoken about the same 3 or 4 things that we have leading into every game of the year. Now, you've obviously done the strategies, etc., for the game. Without giving away too much, where do you see, or how do you think Collingwood is going to win the game? I think, once again, our strategy is probably pretty similar to throughout the season. Our chances of victory rely on our ability to play very well as a team and get contributions from all 22 players that will represent us this weekend. Brisbane have got a lot of individual brilliance, but they are a good team also. But we need to counter that and make sure that we work together to achieve the end result. Mate, good luck. Thanks, Chris. I hope it goes well. So, mate.
Yeah, nodding a wink from Nathan Buckley. What a hero he's going to be to the masses if the Magpies do the almost impossible today and beat Brisbane at this famous ground.